So there's a technique, I remember researching up on this technique to help us to develop a greater ability to be more grateful in our day and in who we are. And it's a simple technique of stop, look, and go. A simple practice that has saved our lives countless times whenever we choose to cross the road. When we simply stop, look, be aware, make sure there's no difficulties or problems that could result in more than just pain, but death, and then take action, and then go. It's a simple technique. And it's a simple technique which I challenge all of you to become more mindful, to try to implement in your day. Whenever there's a moment within your day where you become mindful of the fact that you can do this, which hopefully is at least 5 times within your day, do the following. Stop and cultivate presence. Become mindful in that moment of everything that you can perceive through all of your senses, through awareness of yourself, and become aware of that. Presence not only opens us up to the awareness of the beauty that we can experience within that moment, to experience and to be aware of the amazing things that we have access to in that moment, but it also allows us to become more present to our vulnerability, to be present in that moment, to recognize the insecurity, the fear, the discomfort. We recognize this as an opportunity to become aware of that fear. Step 2, look. To cultivate perspective. Perspective allows us to become fully aware of the larger picture, to understand that there is more to what is happening than just the limited perspective that we may have in that moment, the limited perspective that we may have based on how we've experienced things in the past, as a result of our preconceived ideas, as a result of our past conditioning, our limiting beliefs. When we become mindful to ourselves because we've chosen to stop and then to look, not just to look outside of ourselves, but more importantly, to look within, to become aware of ourselves, to become aware of the fact that, wait a minute, I'm reacting from my insecurity, I'm reacting from my pain. Is this how I want to behave? Is this the way I always want to react from? Or do I want to react from a sense of awareness of self? The idea that this is an opportunity for me to work through this difficulty. This is an opportunity for me to acknowledge, to be vulnerable, and say, yes, I'm not perfect. I'm making a mistake right now. If I choose to react in anger, how can I choose differently? Let me become that more advanced, peaceful, balanced, evolved, if you will. One of the most important aspects of presence, of looking, is the power that it gives us to become more aware of those opportunities when we can wake up. When we can wake up to the information, to the guidance that the universe is trying to provide us. And what I mean by that, when you really look and you look within yourself and you become aware of that niggling pain, that desire within yourself that says, perhaps I should get that checked out. That niggling intuitive feeling that your partner wants to spend more time with you, but you're really more focused on your work. That is the opportunity for the wake-up call. The little minimal wake-up call. The desire to say, pay attention to this. Because if you don't pay attention now to the little wake-up call, later on in your life, you're going to get a huge wake-up call where you have no choice but to face it. And step 3, go. Cultivating possibility. Making a choice to make a decision. When you stop, when you take a moment to look and reflect within, then through that presence of awareness, of self, of everything outside of yourself, perhaps in that moment there's a great opportunity to make a more productive, effective, mindful decision to go ahead and move with it. And most importantly, when you make this decision, is to do so wholeheartedly, is to choose, embrace, and have faith. Trust and let go. Do the work and trust the process. Trust the outcome. Trust whatever needs to come will come. Whatever does come is what needs to come, and embrace it and go with it. I'd like to end off my little chat. Well, I don't know if it's little. I hope I can minimize this down to a few minutes. My talks end up being upwards of 8 to 10 minutes. The last thing I'd like to say is I want to give you a challenge, and this is a challenge that I gave all of the individuals on my workshop, who attended my workshop, and that is 2 challenges. Your first challenge is this, is to every evening before going to bed, just list 5 things that you're grateful for in that day. And if you really think about it, it's not difficult to do. If you find that this is something difficult for you, that you have a great deal of difficulty just thinking of things that you're grateful for, then you're really not taking an opportunity to do the 3 steps of stop, look, and go. Because if you really did that practice, you'd become a lot more aware of there are countless levels of things that you can be grateful for. I'm grateful for the few people who've watched this video. If you're one of the people to have watched it, thank you for watching it, to allowing me to express the ideas and the things that I get to experience in my life. So thank you. I'm grateful for you for watching it, because in you watching it, it encourages me to make more. So thank you. And for those commenting on it as well, comment on the video whether you agree with it or not. It encourages me to continue my journey of self-discovery, because those questions that question what I think allow me to question myself, and therefore to become more self-aware to who I am. So that's your first challenge. 5 things that you're grateful for every day before going to bed. Best way to fall asleep is to fall asleep thinking about the things that you're grateful for. And your final challenge, should you choose to accept it, and I hope that you do, is to write a gratitude letter. To write this letter to someone in your life who did something for you, something that really benefited you, that perhaps you were unable to, or perhaps you haven't thanked them sufficiently for what they did. Write this letter to them, thanking them for what they did for you and how it benefited your life, how it affected your life, and how super grateful you actually are. And then don't just give the letter to them, but read it to them while they are present in front of you. And then give them the letter and allow them to do with it as they wish. There is scientific evidence to prove, to suggest, perhaps I shouldn't use the word prove then, to suggest that just the practice of gratefulness every day, writing 5 things, or at least naming 5 things that you're grateful for, has shown to improve the happiness, the mood in a positive way of those individuals who actually do it, to improve their mood for days after having done this. And the gratitude letter, even more so, manages to improve the mood and to allow individuals to maintain a level of greater sense of enjoyment, of happiness, for a period upward of 2 weeks after having done a gratitude letter. So I challenge you to do these activities and see if that's in fact true, if that is true for you, if it allows you to feel a greater sense of joy and happiness within who you are and how you interact with the world. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to make a great deal more on a more consistent basis. And if you liked the video, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos where I rant on random and various topics, please subscribe, and I look forward to your comments as well. Thank you very much, and ciao for now.